But if you are going for the real industrial problems as a project, because industry means what? No academic background, no economic that much interest. They are going for the technical evaluation, and economics is involved, commercialization, commercial aspects are also involved. Whether I am doing the investment in the utilities, what is the rate of return on investment, whether it is profitable or otherwise. So that comes in know-how, including the commercial aspects, it comes as a know-how. So for the purpose in our education, what we are going for the knowledge and skill. But if you are going for the projects, industrial projects, and that's to come with the viable option solution to the industry, including the commercial aspects, then it comes as the know-how for the education. But since now it has started, it is gaining the momentum for the getting the understanding and know-how for the engineering graduates also through the projects, internship and various initiatives. Getting relevant work experience is there. Minor as well as major projects are there, internship with relevant industry, prepare career plan to assure industry that academia could be a long-term resource to industry for employable students. How? Degree with major subjects or elective subjects. Now for your university some industry might have given the subjects that as per their requirement, the elective subjects might have been offered there. So that is the strategy, so that the engineering graduate is industry ready. What is means in commercial terms, when I started at my institution, when any engineering graduate, either software industry or core industry, what is the probation period on an average for the engineering graduate? 2 years or 1 year. So I have given the proposal to the industry that if you get involved, and everywhere now it has started, if the industry peoples are giving their requirement, that what they are expecting from the students. So that is taught as in the vacation for the students, value added courses. So if that is that knowledge and skill and as well as understanding is imparted to the students during the vacation, the acceptance rate goes on increasing. With this, I have given the proposal to the industry and said that your probation period from 2 years to 1 year, or 1 year, if it is 1 year, then it can be 6 months. That can be reduced and your cost can be saved. For the purpose, what should we say? Modus of operandi, whatever saving is there, if 100 rupees are saved, 50 rupees you can keep it with you, 50 rupees has to be given to my staff, those who are involved. So win-win situation is there. Student also getting the confidence, industry is getting benefit, they are reducing their, means they can put the student direct on wheel. What is entrepreneurship and what are the requirements? That is required for the, that is required for every professional, either he is a self-employment or wage employment. Nowadays, industry is also looking for the leader to lead their unit who would have the entrepreneurial mind. But the only difference is that whatever the characteristics you have told, that is for the entrepreneur also as well as for the intrapreneur also. Intrapreneur is the person that who is also creative, innovative mindset, leadership, managerial skills, but he is working for others, and who is working for himself or herself is entrepreneur. But the major difference is the risk taking capacity, responsive to the surrounding environment. unless and until individual is responsive to the surrounding environments, economical changes, that risk taking capacity does not come into picture. And how that risk taking capacity enhances? No, no. I will ask a simple question to you guys. You are driving the vehicle, two-wheeler? Huh? When you have learned it? You have started. No, what was the confidence at that time and now what is the confidence level at this time? What is the difference? So what is the risk taking capacity? And when risk taking capacity enhances with respect to confidence, confidence comes from your practice. What practice you are doing it? So even good examples are there, successful entrepreneurs, those who are the entrepreneurs, out of that they have worked as an entrepreneur and they have started. But some input is required there. So these are the things that I am simply discussing instead of reading the things. And what are the benefits of the entrepreneurship? I need not to explain it in Rajasthan. Rajasthan and Gujarat, more entrepreneurial mindset peoples. Huh? More employment to whom? From society point of view, from government point of view. Okay. Okay. From policy point of view. हर एक नेता क्या कहता है? रोजगार दूंगा. वो उनका ऑफलोड हो जाता है ना काम. That has been offloaded. That's why they are encouraging. In 1970s, I will give a very small example to you. Small scale sector was the most viable segment for the first generation entrepreneurs. So what were the benefit? Maximum employment with low investment, comparatively low investment. So government has, and there was a horizontal growth. In 1965 to 75, what was the scene in India? Out of the 100 rupees revenue collection from all over India for the central government taxes, 35 rupees were coming from the Mumbai and 65 rupees were distributed for all over the world, all over the India. But now everywhere equal revenue is coming. Reason? Horizontal growth. That was the vertical growth. So that's why government has encouraged the things for the small scale segment, and for small scale segment development, entrepreneurs are required. Earlier, for getting the good number of benefits, incentives, entrepreneurs has started taking the benefit, and simultaneously technology was changing at a faster rate. So what was the outcome? The persons, those who were really involved, really interested, they have flourished. Rest of the things has converted into sickness of the units, blockage of funds. So what was the requirement at that time? Due to change in technology, the person has to be technically aware. Then what was the alternate option? That why we cannot convert the engineer as an entrepreneur. So for that purpose, different steps have started initiated by the government. First was the entrepreneurship development camp, then entrepreneurship development cell, then science and technology entrepreneurship park, then technology business incubation, now the coming as the startups. Technology business incubation is core industry, software industry. Virtual incubators are also coming into the picture nowadays. So good scope for the engineering graduates, professional coming on from the institution, because the government has reduced the red tapeism, The angel investors are there, venture capitalists are there, those who are providing the investment for the persons having good ideas. What is the basic thing for that? I squared P, idea to innovative product. Idea, everyone is having the idea. I am thinking that I should go to on the moon. But for it is to be supported by the entire thing. So for converting that idea into innovative product, when it is coming to the industrial segment, infrastructure is involved, finance is involved. So for that purpose, good supports are coming and good opportunities are coming for the entrepreneur who are having the really good ideas. Highly knowledgeable, dynamic, responsive to changes in surrounding economic environment. Yeah, that is important. Educated about stages of growth, you need diversification, networking, tie-ups and all these things. Alert to the responsive and responsive to the changes. Diversification, networking. You might earlier camera was famous. Cameras were there. How many camera industries are surviving nowadays? Because of the mobile. If those Nokia was there, they are not coming into picture as compared to that of the other mobile segments. And the major requirement for the entrepreneur, for his success, for sustainable growth is the last point: study the past, analyze the present and forecast the market needs and technology in unit for its sustainability. Engineer as an entrepreneur due to ability to analyze and diagnose the production, service problems, devise real remedial measures, work out the economics in production and service outputs, grasp the opportunities, effective economic advantage, analyze and technical capability in preventing accidental breakdown, thus reducing breakdown expenditure, forecast the change in technology. From where this will be coming? When we are going for the problem, please keep this one point in mind. When you are selecting the project for your pre-final and final year, don't go for the repetitive project. If you are going for the repetitive project, what will be there? Your mindset will not be having the creative and innovativeness. Reason being what? You just tell me, suppose there is one alarm for you in this hall. There's some emergency is there, you have to go out of it. From where you will go? Emergency exit gate, right? And this staircase, both are blocked. If they are not blocked, at that time, whether you will put pressure on your mind, blindly you will follow the staircase. But when both the staircase are not there, they are blocked, you will go for the alternate. That creative innovative mindedness will be coming when you are selecting for the project, industrial problem and new problem. So that you have the attitude for application of knowledge and skill what you have gained. अगर ये staircase खुली है तो आप दिमाग लगाओगे क्या? सीधे दौड़ के भागोगे ना, स्पीड तेज रहेगा. लेकिन अगर staircase blocked है, then you will think over it. यहाँ से 1 मिनट लग रहा है, वहाँ से 1.5-2 मिनट लगेगा. भाई यहाँ से नहीं जा रहे तो इधर से निकल जाएंगे हम. But that will be out of box thinking. That mindset has to be developed for the purpose real industrial problems and new problem you have to take it up. MSM is that we have already discussed. Effects, what were the given to the causes of sickness? A study was conducted. The sickness was 52% having the weightage for the mismanagement, faulty planning 14%, marketing difficulties 23%, shortage of inputs 9%, labor strikes 2%. You can see that is the human capability that matters more on the sustainable growth or survival of the industry. These are the challenges for the segment. reduce protection from government, opening up of economy and entry of multinationals, increase competition, domestic as well as international, shorter product lifetime cycle, market changes from seller to buyer market, buyer centered, major shift in product and process technology, consumer awareness due to media penetration, even in rural segment, because of the TV and all these things, even rural segment, rural citizen is also well aware about the changes and the product availability. They are also going for the high end products, quality products. Now here I would like to mention one thing. What is quality? What is quality? हाँ? हाँ, कोई एक बताइए अपनी तरफ. वॉट एवर यू फील, नो प्रॉब्लम, गलत बताओ चलेगा, लेकिन आपके कंसेप्ट क्लियर होने चाहिए इसके लिए. हाँ, मैं आपको ये एज ए एंटरप्रेन्योर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू आई एम आस्किंग यू द क्वेश्चन, नॉट एज अ स्टूडेंट और अ टीचर. इसको और रिफाइन करिएगा थोड़ा और इन रिवाइज. आप घर में डिटर्जेंट्स कौन सा इस्तेमाल कर रही है? हाँ, सर्फ एक्सेल. देहात में सर्फ एक्सेल इस्तेमाल होता है सब जगह. हाँ, कौन सा इस्तेमाल होता है ऑन एन एवरेज में? कोई सिंपल जो सबको एग्जांपल समझ में आए वो पूछ रहा हूं मैं. निर्मा या ऐसा कोई चलता है ना? वाई? फॉर रूरल, दैट मीन्स आई एम नॉट, who is having the not economically strong, he is going for the low cost, you are going for the surf excel. तो आपके लिए क्वालिटी वो है, उसके लिए वो क्वालिटी है ना. फिटनेस टू द पर्पज इज द मेन क्वालिटी. फिटनेस टू द पर्पज, ये आपको एंटरप्रेन्योर के एंगल से ध्यान में रखना है कि जो बिकता है वही बेचना है. गांव में जाओगे उसके रिक्वायरमेंट्स के हिसाब से, शहर में जाओगे अलग हिसाब है. मॉल्स में जाके देख लीजिए आप, गेहूं, दावल, चाल सब पैकेट में मिलता है. गांव में लेते हैं क्या पैकेट में? वो बोरी के बोरी लेके रख लेते, साफ करके रख लेते वो. देयर क्वालिटी रिक्वायरमेंट आर डिफरेंट, हियर क्वालिटी, सो दैट सेंस हैज टू बी डेवलप्ड इन यू. दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. अगर धंधा करना है तो, बिजनेस करना है तो. Opportunities to this industrial sector, access to better technology, availability, variety and alternatives of components and raw materials, impetus to quality due to customer focus centric market, opportunity to restructure and diversify, startups, Make in India initiatives by Government of India provided several opportunities to the prospective entrepreneurs. Yeah, availability of variety of alternatives and components and raw materials. आज की घड़ी में भी आप बताइए, मोबाइल के लिए प्रेस्टिजियस मोबाइल कौन सा माना जाता है? आईफोन. नहीं, हम क्वालिटी की क्वालिटी नहीं कर रहे, तो उसके लिए अब हर एक आदमी एफोर्ड कर रहा है आईफोन, तो उसके पैरेलल में कौन सा निकला है? आईफोन के पैरेलल में अल्ट्रा. उसकी कॉस्ट कितना है? ऑप्शन उसके ऑप्शन में जो उसी के फीचर्स के साथ में बना हुआ है इंडिया में, OnePlus. हाँ, वो फीचर्स आ रहे हैं. कॉस्ट इज 40 to 50%, नॉट, और अप टू 30-35% वी कैन से. इट इज ऑल्सो सोल्ड. सम पीपल, दोज हु हैव द प्रेस्टीज पॉइंट, दे आर गोइंग फॉर द आईफोन, दोज हु कैन अफोर्ड. लेकिन जिसको बाकी फीचर्स भी चाहिए तो वो ही इज गोइंग फॉर दिस टाइप ऑफ फोन्स. सो ये है, अवेलेबिलिटी आ गई. दैट्स व्हाई नाउ इवन व्हेन द पर्सन knows what is the requirement of the market, what is the requirement of the customer, that approach is there, use of appropriate technology is there, commercial sense is there, he or she can be the successful entrepreneur. Now this was the investigation that one of my student has done, is for the entrepreneur, what are the different factors involved in success of units, technical units, non-technical, then what is the faculty, where they are giving the importance for the knowledge, skill, understanding and know-how, these were carried out, and based on that I have proposed the model. My student is proposing the model that how it should be there for developing the entrepreneurial or entrepreneurial mindset among the professional passing out from the engineering institution. Observations were there. Non-technical entrepreneurs feel necessity of technical know-how to minimize the difficulty and sickness in their unit. Technical entrepreneurs feel financial, managerial forces, factors important for minimizing the difficulties and sickness in unit. Therefore, technical entrepreneurs, if he has been given the financial and other aspects input, he can be the better option in the competitive world. With respect to the faculty, knowledge of the faculty is on highest side, teacher, everywhere, not in your institution, everywhere, they are giving importance to the theory numbers. Then less is the practical. Learning attitude, respective mind of faculty is on third preference, and industrial exposure and entrepreneurial awareness of the faculty is at last number. Now the scenario has starting taking the change. Strategy for sustainable growth of MSMEs. Technical entrepreneur can be right choice. Students has the willingness to offer self-employment and has to be developed by proper input during the engineering education. Faculty inputs do affect the entrepreneurial capability. When this is possible, when the students are going for the projects as well as for the internship has started at, I think it might have started. So it is not the role of the student, but the faculty also get involved in association with the industry, so that the 50% weightage of the faculty, 50% weightage of the industry supervisor, their inputs, it will enhance the vision as well as the approach of the student during internship also, so the industrial exposure is there on higher side. And once the industrial exposure is there, what she has told that practice will enhance the risk taking capacity, confidence of the individual. This was the model. Simple, in simple terms I am telling you, knowledge by theory, skill by practical, understanding problem-based learning, interaction with entrepreneurs, field practitioners and exposure to the real problems of the industries, internship, major projects and model development. Not only because model development, when model development is coming, design and development, two stages are there. What is design? Knowledge, skill and understanding. Development, commercial aspects come into the picture. It enhances the know-how of the individual. In the model, for the selection of the entrepreneur, focus is to be on entrepreneurial characteristic capability, because that counselor has to be there. During second stage, means what I will suggest for the students, if you might be having the counselor there, they should have the interaction with the counselor and based on the SWOT analysis of every individual. You have to assess yourself and see for which I am suited. Everyone cannot be the entrepreneur, everyone cannot be the employee. So according to that selection has to be there. Then motivation with the entrepreneurs interaction, followed by visits, awareness of schemes, incentives different by the government, startup units, venturing process. This is the important point for the venturing process and resource planning, industrial potential survey. These are the three important points where it needs at least 4 to 5 lectures for the every point. Industrial potential survey means when the first generation entrepreneur is going, preferably they go for the where they have born and brought up, where aware about the society. Industrial potential survey means the survey of the particular geographical location where what are the opportunities, what are the potential industries. When we are talking for the industry, industries are coming on 3 types: resource based, demand based or skill based. So what are the resources available, what are the surplus resources, how it can be utilized. Skill based, what are the skills available, and demand based, what is the demand. Based on that they can, so that for that purpose industrial potential survey is there. Market survey, in industrial potential survey if there are 20 potential industries are identified, out of that which one is suitable for the individual, accordingly they can conduct the market survey, and based on that the techno-economic feasibility project report is carried out. and based on that the followed by the discussion, so that understanding gets enhanced of an individual. Run unit internal external factors, in-plan study with problem-based learning, interaction with officials, report preparation, techno-commercial aspects and presentation followed by group discussions, expansion, unit, market, customer, case study, report preparation followed by group discussions. Step for implementation. This we already discussed: entrepreneurship awareness camp, entrepreneurship development cell, science technology entrepreneurship park. Now technology business incubators are coming into the picture, and my this is the second point. Project given to the final year students should be based on the real industrial problems, and research is to be encouraged in that direction. Based on that, some experiment means projects has been given at my institution that I will be discussing, so that objectives are there. These are the outcomes. Experimentation of projects. In major projects for UG students and prepared the model. Work a pace competition. A work a pace competition was carried out wherein group of 4 people or 5 people were given. This is the remote. Assignment was given to those guys that this remote you have to, I have given it for the mechanical students, means mechanical product was given. This is to be manufactured. So 4 or 5 people, they will manufacture it with their own hand. They will assess the requirement, what are the raw material requirement, what is the machining time, what is the time, so that and based on that, after assessment of the material requirement, processing requirements, they will give the proposal if they have to manufacture 50 units per day, 500 units per day or 2500 units per day. For that purpose, what is the setup they need? And they were supposed to give the interaction with the experts. So when we are going for the 50 units, definitely small end machines are required, 500 higher end, medium end machines, and for 2000 units per day, for that purpose computerized machines are required. So for that purpose, what was the purpose for this? They have to apply the knowledge, skill, understanding and get the commercial aspect, that is know-how of them. So as if it is the engineer passing out from the institution and he is working somewhere, and his project manager tells him that we have to go for this project, give us the estimate for this. So that comes into the picture. So commercial aspects are coming there. Gross feeding machine, cotton cropping purpose. This was a project funded, supported by IIT Chennai to my institution at Nasik. This was under the RETC, Rural Engineering Technology Club. The students, when they are taking the project, some students were asked to go for the rural segment with technology intervention, how they can enhance the productivity in that particular area. So cotton cropping, what is there? It is in between the 2 feet, 2.5 feet distance, the lines are there. In between the lines, distance is there, but not in between the plants. So for that purpose, what was there? We can weed the grass in between the lines, but not in between the plants. For that purpose, they have developed this photosensitive weeding machine, wherein they have given the input of the cotton plant. Apart from that, some grass is there, they were removing it. It was supported, and purpose was that the student should think out of that how can I get the final product that can be useful for the society. That was the main purpose. Preventing damage of grape field from sudden rainfall. In Nasik area, North Maharashtra, grape is the major product, and 5 acres, 6 acres, 10 acres, 20 acres, 50 acres grapes fields are there. When they are in harvesting position, if the rainfall is there, definitely due to the raindrops, grapes are getting break. So they have given the solution that there should be, very simple solution was there, so that they can put the cover over 1 acre of land within 2 or 3 minutes. What was the purpose? The students, those who were from the rural background, those who have faced the problems because of the sudden rainfall, they have developed it. And what was the result out of it? Instead of going for the job in metro cities, they have preferred to stay at their native place, and it was helpful for preventing the migration of rural youth to the urban area also. That was the purpose behind it. Very small problems you can take it. Wheel based varnishing and drying mechanism for drying grinder cum mixer manufacturing. Complete line was there. Instead of that, the complete sequence was put on the table, and the table was rotating, and with different operations, 50% space they have saved there. Pedal operated washing machine for rural where there is shortage of electricity. Storage type bed in hostels, safe storage of belongings during vacations. Rooms can be used for participants of short term programs. Students, they have been allotted the room. They are having their own belongings. When they are going to the vacation, they are keeping all their belongings into the almirah, keeping the lock and going to the room at their home. I have given this problem that if I want to use this room for my institute purpose, if some faculty development program has to be there, how can I give? Effective optimum utilization of the infrastructure is also one of the major causes. So they have developed the sleeping almirah type bed. So bed is there, sleeping almirah, they have kept their belongings in there, kept the lock. That cupboard can be used for the person, those who are coming during the vacation. Folding helmet, exam conference cum drawing table. These are the outcomes that we have already discussed. We are going for the center of excellence at Nasik over this, with this philosophy. The complete experimentation facility, project completion purpose for the students as well as for the industry, so that industry, whatever the problems they are having, they can take up here, and at low investment they can get the solution for the problems. With this we are proposing going for these things. And when the industrial problems they can solve the student, the confidence goes on increasing, risk taking capacity goes on increasing. These are the implications. These are the things. Any question from your side for your career? Huh? Huh? ओके, घर में खाना बनाते हो बेटे आप? नहीं, मैं सिंपल एग्जाम्पल से आपको समझाऊंगा. रोटी बना लेते हो? हाँ, मम्मी बनाती है वैसे ही बनाती है आप, या अलग बनाती है ना? तो वो नया हो गया ना. तो उसको कैसे किया आपने? खुद एक्सपेरिमेंट किया, प्रोटोटाइप पे किया, पहली रोटी खुद खाई होगी ना, बराबर है? हाँ, तो पहले अपने को जो प्रैक्टिकल जो है ना वो खुद करना पड़ेगा, अपने ऊपर आजमाना पड़ेगा. देन इट विल बी कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाएगा ना साथ में. राइट ब्रदर्स का स्टोरी अभी इसके ऊपर से बैठो, क्लियर हो गया? राइट ब्रदर्स की बात है ये. जब वेरी स्मॉल राइट ब्रदर्स जिन्होंने हवाई जहाज निकाला था, व्हेन दे हैव स्टार्टेड, वो दो ही बैठते थे, बाकी कोई बैठता नहीं था. सबको बुला के देख लिया, नहीं डॉक्टर साहब से कहा भी आप आ जाओ, कहते नहीं मैं नहीं आता. इनसे पूछा, कहते मैं नहीं आता. वो सोचे कैसे क्यों नहीं आ रहे लोग. फिर उन्होंने क्या किया, ह्यूमन साइकोलॉजी होती है, इनसे पूछे भाई वो क्यों नहीं आ रहे, ये क्यों नहीं आ रहे वो तो नहीं बताएंगे, लेकिन वो क्यों नहीं आ रहे करके डरता है वो क्योंकि गिर न जाओ. उसके दिमाग में जो था वो उसने दूसरे के नाम पे डाल दिया ना, टिकट उसके नाम से फाड़ दिया. उनसे पूछा कहते वो भी डरता है इसलिए नहीं जा रहा है. फिर उनको समझ में आया कि डर रहे. फिर उन्होंने खुद एक्सपेरिमेंट किया, खुद लोगों को, अपने मिसेस को, बेटे को कराया. उसके बाद में लोगों को कॉन्फिडेंस हुआ, धीरे धीरे वो हुआ है. सो हमें खुद एक्सपेरिमेंट करना पड़ेगा उसके लिए. पहले अपना खुद उसमें कैसे कर सकते, बन सकता है ये करते करते. निर्मा इंडस्ट्रीज इन्होंने शुरू कैसे किया था पता है आपको? दैट एम्पायर इज देयर नाउ इन ऑल ओवर इंडिया. वॉशिंग पाउडर निर्मा है ना, वो खुद साइकिल पे बेचते थे पहले, करसन भाई पटेल. ये खुद मतलब स्टार्ट बहुत ये होता है. सेकंड जनरेशन एंटरप्रेन्योर में ज्यादा क्रिएटिविटी आती है, क्योंकि क्या उसको आराम से मिला होता है, पापा ने बनाया होता है, मम्मी ने बनाया होता है, चाचा ने बनाया होता है, उसके ऊपर वो नया एक्सपेरिमेंट करते हैं खाली। और सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयमेंट और वेज एम्प्लॉयमेंट का आपने कही एक कहानी भी आई होगी, व्हाट्सएप पे आई थी, वो एक कोई एक बड़े अच्छे कंपनी का मैनेजर नीचे समोसा खाने जाता है, वो कहता है भाई तेरे बच्चे को पढ़ा लिखा ले, नहीं तो मेरे जैसा ही रहेगा। बोले नहीं कोई दिक्कत नहीं जी, मेरा बच्चा यहीं पे रहेगा। कहते हैं क्यों? बोले साहब आप तो अभी ऐसा कमा रहे हो, मैं कितना कमा रहा हूँ? कहते हैं आपको तनख्वाह कितनी है? उससे पूछता है मैनेजर से। कहता है मेरे 2 लाख रुपये महीने की है। कहते हैं आप कितना कमा लेते हो? कहते हैं मैं 1.5 लाख रुपये महीने के कमा लेता हूँ। समोसे वाला बता रहा है। कहता है लेकिन सर आप में और मैंने फर्क ऐसा है कि आपका बेटा जब सर्विस करने जाएगा ना, आप जिस पोस्ट पे लगे थे वहां से शुरू करेगा, लेकिन मेरा बच्चा ये 1.5 लाख 2 लाख से ऊपर से आगे जाएगा, तो मैं इसको बच्चे को उस हिसाब से पढ़ा रहा हूं। तो फर्स्ट जनरेशन एंटरप्रेन्योर, सेकंड जनरेशन एंटरप्रेन्योर, इसमें हर एक जगह अलग अलग रिक्वायरमेंट्स है। अभी आप देख लीजिए कि एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप पे जो एमबीए हो रहे हैं वो भी 2 स्टेजेस के अलग अलग है। फैमिली बिजनेस एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप एक्सपांशन डाइवर्सिफिकेशन का अलग है और फर्स्ट जनरेशन का अलग है। इनपुट्स हर जगह पे अलग है। एनी क्वेश्चन? क्लियर हो गया बेटे? और कोई? ओके देन, थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir, for your insightful discussion. Now I would like to call upon stage Professor Harlal, sir, to present the memento to Professor V.P. Vani.
ये फील्ड बहुत अच्छा है। अभी आप बेशक पहले 5-7 साल जॉब करो, अब ये कहोगे कि आप टीचिंग कर रहे हो, मेरा अपना खुद का यूनिट है। हाँ,
A very warm namaskar to distinguished guests and colleagues. Today I, Rhea Soni, feel immense pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Professor J. Ramkumar. With over 2 decades of expertise in micro-nano machining, defense technology, aerospace and assistive technology. Since joining IIT Kanpur in 2003, Professor Ramkumar has aimed to enhance product efficiency while minimizing environmental impact. His initiatives, including Imaginary Laboratory and Swasa masks, demonstrate his innovative approach. A mentor to over 15 successful startups, Professor Ramkumar innovation during the pandemic, like the Sanjeevani oxygen concentrator, have been a blessing for frontline workers and hospitals nationwide. Today, due to some emergency essential assignment at IIT Kanpur, Sir is not physically present here. So there will be a video lecture on leveraging AI in product design innovation and implications. I request technical team to play the lecture. Thank you.
Welcome everybody. Thank you to ICASEM 24 for giving me an opportunity to present my thought in the area of artificial intelligence and product design. Artificial intelligence is exponentially growing. It is getting implemented in multiple areas. The most endangered species is going to be the teachers and education community. AI is coming up in a big way. So, AI is now going to facilitate the teacher, the student, the administration in the education institution. How do we do a betterment for everybody? AI is used in business today. AI is also used in product design today. Why is AI thought of in a big way in product design? Currently, the state of the art is there are very good products which are being sold very nicely in developed countries. Now, to customize those products to developing and underdevelopment countries requires a lot of empathy study. In this empathy study, it will try to help you in understanding the customer needs and remove the unnecessary function, customize it to the local requirement such that the product can be successful. Finally, every business is looking for their survival and growth. So, herein AI understands the pattern and facilitates in giving a better understanding of the product with the local people. Keeping that in focus, I have tried to do justice in this area of leveraging artificial intelligence in product design. Innovation is a buzzword which goes around across the globe. In innovation, the most important step is understanding the pain points. Now, when we understand the pain points, currently the state of the art is few people go around and understand the customer, come back and lay down their pain points and start developing products. Now, this few has to be many, and whatever they do has to be realistic. Once the clear problem definition is laid, I am sure with the latest technology and the brilliant minds of the participants or the student community over here, they will be able to solve the problem. Now, currently, where is the big gap is understanding the pain points, converting that pain points into engineering need. That will lead to innovation. Innovation and invention are two different words. People always try to confuse between these two words. Innovation means trying to produce something new for which there is a customer. This new word can be replaced by novel. In a very crude man sense, I will try to put it in front of this audience. 95% of the innovation happens as cut and paste across the streams, across the society, across the departments. What is a good practice in biology, if you try to customize it and use it in mechanical engineering, then it becomes an innovation. Innovation looks for a customer and innovative solution. There has to be a customer to accept your idea and pay money for it. So, that is innovation. So, innovation and implementation. So, this topic is very important, and this topic is the need of the hour. Lot of people are focusing of trying to use artificial intelligence in their own domain. Any presentation or any knowledge understanding always needs a team. So, in my team, I have Deepak Mishra, Harishri and myself. We all have put joint efforts in developing this presentation. So, when we talk about anthropocene, EPO, the term of artificial intelligence was coined and made popular by biologists and chemists in 2000. The human have become the single most influential species on this planet, causing substantial change. No other species in this world can make so much of change what a human has made. In 1900s we used to walk. 1920s we were moving around with bullock carts. Parallelly, the developed country was moving on a car. 1950 cars became popular. 1980 trains became popular. 2000 planes became popular. Look at the change what has happened from walking, then you went on a car, then you went on a train, now you are flying without a wheel. So all these things are major transformation which only human can do. So human has become the single most influential species on this planet, causing substantial change. Earth has witnessed 5 mass extinction in different periods of natural factors. So this is a chain. So you can see the earth entry and the age of human, how it has got evolved. However, the 6th mass extinction is driven by human activity, primarily thought not limited to by the unsustainable use of land, water, energy and climate change. So if you see all these things, there is going to be a huge need for using the data and integrating intelligence. The global challenge of today are going to be many, but the most prominent ones are going to be this 15. The global challenges are the world is grappled with multiple crises which need immediate attention. A long-term sustainable solution ought to be developed. When this has to be developed, you have to have a better understanding of the pattern wherein which it has been developed over the period of years. This 15 substantial crises are going to be sustainable development and climate change. The world is focusing towards climate change. Then clean water. The population has exponentially increased. The water has been always a limit. So we are left with 3% of water which is drinkable, out of which we are left with only 1% wherein which it's been distributed and in a drinkable form, potable form. So clean water is going to be the biggest challenge, and today water-bound diseases are the most challenging one to be solved. So clean water, economical water is going to be a big challenge. Population and resources. Population exponentially increases, the resources has been getting depleted or the resources are getting exploited. So there has to be a balance. Then it is going to be democratization is also going to be a biggest challenge. In developed countries, there was not much of disparity amongst the community. In underdeveloped countries, there is still a big demographic change. Democratization is going to be the next biggest challenge amongst the community. Developed countries have somehow achieved this. In underdeveloped countries, still democratization is a big challenge. Then global foresight and decision making, let it be economy, let it be climate, let it be resource exploitation. Earlier, every country was focusing towards their business and their growth. Today, the countries have started moving out of their local domain and look at the global domain. So the global foresight and decision making is the other biggest challenge. Global convergence of IT, rich-poor gap, health issues. So for example, pandemic, it was across the globe, it was not across a country, it was across the globe. So health issues are many. Education and learning. Earlier, there was a close gap between academia and industry. Today, the gap has got little more expanded. The industry says what academia teaches is no more matching their requirements, and academia says they are not able to work on industry related problems. So there is a gap. So education and learning has to be reset. So that is a challenge. Then peace and conflict, status of women, translation organizational crime, then energy, science and technology, and global ethics. So all these things are bigger challenge for the Mother Earth. So these challenges has to be handled. So what have we done in the last 50, 60 years? We have generated lot of data. Now understanding this data and then understanding the pattern has to be done such that we try to protect Mother Earth. So the interconnectedness between the issues are now prominently seen. Earlier we thought every incident, every issue is isolated, is like an island. But today we have figured out there is an interconnect between them. So the interconnectedness of these issues are becoming more and more and more, and there has to be an understanding about this. All these issues have an interplay with each other. We have found out that. Hence, solution cannot be developed in silos considering single issue. That is an understanding which we all are now getting. Rather, a holistic approach is required, focusing the macro decisions. So any decision you take has to be holistic. It has to find out all the issues, and you have to take a decision in such a manner the impact is positive for all these issues. So now there demands a deeper understanding. So here artificial intelligence is going to be the biggest tool which is going to take the world for a lead. So the global commitments to tackle these crises is very important. So there are few which we are now trying to discuss. So restricting climate change, one of the major concern is climate change. Post 1995 Conference of Parties COP meeting is held annually to discuss the road ahead to mitigate climate change effect. COP 28 recently was held in UAE, focused on energy transition and loss and damage fund. So these are some of the major issues which are getting dealt, and when we talk about climate change, product design also comes into existence. How come product design comes into existence? Right from the inception to the coffin, the product has to be developed keeping sustainability as a prime focus. Initially, we were only keeping customer requirement. When plastic bags came into existence in early 2000, so people were little hesitant to accept plastic bags. Today, plastic bags has become part and parcel of our life. We walk down to a shop and then pull up a plastic bag, even for a very small toy what we buy. So this has now created a huge impact. Now we are looking for how do we try to recycle this plastic, or how do we eliminate this plastic. Recycling is one step, but elimination is the best step. Now when we talk about elimination, we are now trying to look at removing plastic in the complete product design cycle. So now how is this going to happen? It is going to happen through the use of AI. So this plastic is also leading to climate change. A small toy you buy, see how globally it impacts on a climate change. So this is a cycle which I have presented here, which talks about it. In the COP 28, they are focusing on energy transition and loss and damage fund. These are the 17 sustainable goals which has been laid by the global organizations. So in the 17 goals, you see now AI is being used in a big way, and product is being used in almost everything. So, this SDGs are a collection of 17 global goals and their 169 targets. So, each of these goal has a set of targets. So, that is what you have 169 targets set by United Nations General Assembly UNGA in 2015 and to be achieved by 2030. We are struggling. We are struggling to achieve these goals, but still every country does their contribution towards this goal. So, if you see the sphere of influence of SDGs, there is you can see how the triangle comes. The 17 goals are being distributed so nicely. You can see biosphere and clean water, which is there at the bottom. Then you have society, there are certain set of goals. Then economy, certain set of goals, and the top one is going to be more towards partnership for the goals. The SDGs have been broadly clubbed under 3 heads, and these are the 3 heads, and the sphere is there. So, circular economy is a buzzword which almost all the product which are getting developed are focusing on. So, that means to say raw material, design, production, retain, consumption, reuse, repair, collection, recycle, and then that becomes a raw material. So, this complete cycle is called as circular economy. So, in circular economy, a product is developed and it is getting used, then it is getting reused and repaired, then there is a collection of all these things, then there is a recycle, you try to get it. So, if you look into it, production cycle, consumption cycle and recycling cycle all are getting integrated in a single product. And when we try to develop a product design, it is more focused towards circular economy. Circular economy is understanding the product not from the customer's perspective, but from the overall perspective. So, there are multiple ways to attain the goal. One such way is incorporating circular economy. It is an effective component in achieving SDGs and also in targets under the Paris Agreement. Let us take a break and understand some of the product designs which are coming under circular economy. Today, jewelry industry is coming under circular economy. So, when a jewel is purchased, the customer will be shown the design by using AI, wherein which the fabrication of the jewel, maintenance of the jewel, the resale of the jewel, all are put together and everything is rated and it is presented to a customer. The customer looks at the fashion design, look at its maintenance cost and looks whenever he sells it back what will be the resale value, or they give some factor. So, all these things are shown by using AI at the back end. Today, if a customer goes to a jewelry shop and tries to tell, I need a pendant, in this pendant these are all the designs has to be. So, you can try to have 50 different patterns in front of you. You say from A pick up this, from B pick up this, from C pick up this, and give a weightage of A 20%, give a weightage of C 50%. So, now what it does is AI understands all the percentage, AI understands the design, AI understands what is circular economy behind, AI also understands how these all can be integrated into one product. So, after doing all these integrations, it is trying to show, display 50 different types of product design. Now, based on the choice, the fabrication starts. So, now artificial intelligence is used at the back end to develop 50 different ideas. How does this artificial intelligence work? When you try to say from A pick up this, 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 B pick up this, 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 you are trying to put a constraint function and you are trying to write an objective function keeping circular economy in this consideration. So, AI develops it and gives you 50 different types of tools. Nothing better than this can happen for the product design cycle or for the product designer using AI at the back end. When you are working on UX, UI, Today you develop multiple designs and you present it to your customers. Now AI can help you in developing it in a much faster fashion. A poster, currently you develop a poster and you show it takes a lot of time for you to develop. Of course, now digitization has come, you have reduced the time to a large extent, but this can be further reduced by doing AI. So when you know the customers and when you know the location, when you take a photo of the location, where are you going to place the poster, immediately the AI gives you all combinational colors such that the poster can be look pretty attractive. If there is a face like whatever is there, Pluto's face on a screen, so AI can help you to make the background and the photo in a much interesting fashion with the words written there in capturing the attention of customers. So AI in product design, UX I have given an example, and in jewelry industry I have given an example. Let's keep moving and discussing many more. Necessity is literally the mother of invention. This is what Pluto has presented to all of us. There is a window of opportunity in this when we try to use circular economy, product design, and when we are trying to use AI. The current world needs create an ideal ground for the innovator and investors to capitalize these opportunities. The history is filled with examples of very successful startups that capitalize on the opportunity. Design thinking is a very, very powerful tool where every product designer has to follow. So this approach of design thinking tries to integrate desirability, feasibility, and sustainability together in developing a product design. Design thinking, it is an essential to have a clear approach for the startups to sustain and evade the valley of death. When we talk about Stanford design thinking process, or when we talk about just the design thinking process, it has only 5 steps. All the 5 steps are not linear, it is iterative, it is non-linear. You can jump first step to the third step, fifth step to the second step. It happens like that. It is an iterative process. It has only simple 5 stages. The first stage is going to be the empathy stage. If you want to be a successful product design engineer for any product, let it be UX, let it be UI, let it be PD, let it be whatever, VR, AR, whatever you want to do, the first step is going to be empathy study. Empathy study is wearing the shoe of the customers, understanding their pain points, listing down all their pain points and trying to put a value to every pain point and see which of these values are very, very important. So when you try to do it, it is all in verbal form. It has to be converted into a digital form. In empathy study, what we do is we write it all in words. We make a notes, we convert it into a keywords, and then we try to process those keywords such that our brain understands and starts processing. Now in AI, what happens is these words will be converted into a digital value and it tries to give weightages to it. So empathy study is very, very important. So empathy study tries to remove confuse anecdotes, and then it also tries belief, availability of solution for an actual problem. So empathy study tries to give more and more clarity for it. Once we do an empathy study, the next thing is going to be the definition of the problem. If you want to be a successful product designer, you should know how to define the problem. The definition of the problem should not be very precise. It has to be little liberal such that you are allowed to think and develop multiple solutions. So the definition has to be focused and also defocused little bit. The focused has to be in the area. Defocus is try to give some liberal way out such that multiple ideas can be tried. The third step is going to be the ideation phase. Ideation phase is try to develop multiple ideas. If you try to take an example of this pen and if you directly say it is a cylindrical object, it has to have a tip at one end, it has to have an eraser at the other end. So to a large extent, the definition of the problem is so precise and you don't have much of flexibility. So if you can just come up with a definition saying that you have to find out something for writing which can be held in the hand comfortably, and it has to have an eraser attached with it. So now what you have said is, you have only defined the problem, you can try to have liberal solutions. In the ideation phase, you try to develop multiple ideas. For any small definition of the problem, it is better to have at least 100 different ideas. Why are we saying 100 different ideas is because many a times what happens, there is a cut and paste happening across these ideas to develop a product. So ideation phase is the next phase wherein which the multiple ideas are developed based on the definition. So ideation phase is happening. After the ideation phase happens, ideation phase, we don't say this is a good idea, bad idea. So you just write down, list down all the ideas, draw multiple ideas. Now whatever you have drawn, it need not be feasible. So you have to check whether it is feasible or not, and you have to get the customer feedback. So the next one is going to be the prototyping. In prototyping, what we do is, whatever ideas we have developed, now almost all these ideas, it can be a virtual prototype or a physical prototype, we develop prototypes. Based on these prototypes, whatever we have developed, then what we do is, we try to test these ideas with the customers. Once the testing is happening, you will figure out that you have developed something which is not very close to the requirement, but somewhere in the gamut. So then after the testing, you take all the feedback and go back to the ideation phase. That's what I said. Design thinking is not a linear process, it's a non-linear process. It can go back and forth to develop a able product. If you religiously do this design thinking approach 3 times for any problems, you are sure to have a solution. Now, a product designer has to understand all these 5 steps, and at all the 5 steps, what you generate is data. This data has to be organized, and this data, if you feed into artificial intelligence system properly, you are sure to get multiple ideation happening, and from there you try to look at the product. So the circular loop of design thinking is design thinking 101. So you can see the understanding phase has the empathy and the definition phase, then exploring phase is ideation and prototype, and you see a materialization phase is the testing phase and the implementation phase. It is a circular one, it keeps on going round and round and round, and every step you try to develop something, you release a product, and next you come back and do a next version of the product in developing. Design thinking incorporates a circular loop to attain a substantiable model or a sustainable model. This is what I was been talking to you. Feasibility, viability and desirability are the 3 main things in design thinking approach. So what is feasible? You are supposed to say what's the technically it's possible, whether the whatever idea you develop, whether it is technically possible. Viable, what can we do that is sustainable now and it also is sustainable in the future, that is viable. And then desirable is what's desirable from a human environment and organization perspective is the desirability. And the last one is going to be ethical. Just because we can, should we, does it truly achieve the outcome or the need to save or to see is the ethical. So these are the 3 words: feasible, desirable and viable has to be considered when design thinking is approached. So you see here there is a star point wherein which this star point leads you to innovation. So desirable human, viable business and feasible technical. So these are the things which have to be considered. Feasible is technical, viable is business, desirable is human. So all these things have A union B union C. The center point leads to innovation, and here in which the innovation to happen, AI plays a very, very important role. What are the challenges in product design as of today? The challenges are going to be evolving technology. The technology is changing so fast, so that it has to be, you have to revise the product and release. Next is changing design trends, then the IP issues, cultural sensitivity. ethical dilemmas, user experience, scarcity of resources, sustainability. All these things are the issues which are related to product design. So, these are all the product design challenges in front of us. So, the role of AI in product design is going to be, so the designer can stay updated and ML can assist in revamping the tools. Then the next one is analyzing the market trends. ML can forecast emerging design trends, then detect instances of plagiarism and provide mechanism to safeguard IP. AI can play a role. Then provide cultural data, and AI ML ensures sensitivity to local norms and values. For example, a drone which has been used in India has a different specification to the drone which is developed for Pakistan or African countries, or to Korea or South Korea or North Korea. Then while ML assist identifies and mitigates potential ethical issues, then it also tries to provide insight into user action, and ML assist in designing interface. Then designer can focus on creative aspects as repetitive task and automated, and suggest sustainable design and access to the environmental footprint. So, these are all possible ways AI can try to help in developing products. When we try to take AI in manufacturing segment or sector alone, product equipment failure reduction, downtime and maintenance cost can be a place where AI can use. It is used for predictive and preventive maintenance, quality control via computer vision, enhancing the defect detection is possible by using AI in manufacturing. Then supply chain optimization, today AI is used. Then increasing production efficiency, reducing energy, identifying the bottlenecks and suggest improvement, detect potential hazard and apply early warning systems. Then material wastage reduction. In all these places, AI plays an important role. For example, today when you try to talk about additive manufacturing, when there is a CAD which is drawn, in the CAD next step we try to do tessellation. Between the CAD and the tessellation, we try to do topology optimization, where in which AI can play a very important role. It reduces the waste material wherever it is getting added. So, now let us see some of the examples where AI is being used in a bigger way. Siemens Gamesa has used AI in wind turbine industry. Siemens Gamesa implemented an AI driven predictive maintenance for its wind turbine. Sensors are getting embedded in the turbine, collect real time data in various parameters such as temperature, vibration and component wear. Then ML algorithm analyzes this data to predict the potential failure before they could occur, and then what the company does is they slow down those wind turbines, stop it, they add whatever is the corrections to be made, and then they restart it. Predictive maintenance allows for targeted and proactive intervention, reduces the downtime and minimizes the maintenance cost. Anything which is happening in this wind turbine, maintenance cost is a major issue. Moving the blade down or doing something at the height is very, very expensive. So, AI plays a very, very important role. The outcome of AI integration has reduced the downtime, enhanced quality, improved efficiency and energy saving has been there because of integrating AI in the product design. So, it is not only abroad, lot of companies in India have also started using AI in a big way. So, TVS, which is a prominent two-wheeler manufacturing in India, explored use of AI in predictive maintenance and real-time monitoring of equipments, which led to the reduction in the downtime and enhanced the overall manufacturing efficiency and market efficiency. Just for eliminates job? No, it is not so. The unskilled jobs may be gone to some extent, but the semi-platform to the requirements needs lot of extending the customer. Then you are more and more on the AI platform to fine tune its performance. The mechanical engineer, manufacturing engineer or an electrical guy supplement here. Today we are all working effectively in ML, but at some point of time we are supposed to get into DL. For example, if there is a spread of disease which is happening because of climatic change in Uttarakhand, of AI, one is called super train the data set and test it. bit up. So all these things, if you see, are linked. So when we look at the tasks, there are three types of tasks. When we try to talk, assist human comes out. What needs skilled man? With that, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to present my thought about AI. Whatever I have presented is not only mine, I have used references. Here are a major reference. There are a lot of references. I have used nearly 150 papers, out of which these two are more commonly used. So I have put these two references for you. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much to the organizers for giving me an opportunity. And I am sorry I was not able to join physical, which I would always love to. Because of the health issues and climatic issues going around, I could not travel. I had a ticket to fly, I cancelled it, then I thought I'll go by car. That also got stuck because of the huge dense fog which is around Kanpur, which has stopped me in mobility. Friends, here is also a challenge in front of you. How do you use AI and ML to have visibility on roads such that we can have a safe trip? This is also a product design challenge in front of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the insightful talk. We appreciate your enlightening lecture on AI during the conference. Your expertise added immense value to the event, and we are grateful for the knowledge you shared. Now, as the morning session comes to an end, I request everyone to gather at Bharat Muni Manch for high tea.